Travis Wingoodsell. Breaking news this morning. I'm watching day one of the second impeachment and have it muted and recording it to watch later for what I miss. But what I did catch right before I had to put in my laundry, and so I was frustrated that I had to wait, because I knew if I were to start the video I'd have to stop the video and do it in segments. But President Biden, our legitimate president, duly elected, and I'm sure that YouTube will find some way to put in a little notification. Yeah, it's springtime, so the windows have to be open. And so, anyway, Biden has called for the resignation of all Trump-appointed attorney generals for the United States. For the state of Utah, this is huge. And when the presidents of the church, if they're not already up, they'll soon find out, and they're going to be wetting themselves. So make sure they have their diapers on in their old age. I see commercials for quite effective diapers. I dread the day when I get that old. John W. Huber, gone. He's been called to resign because even though he was put in February 2015 by President Barack Obama, he was told to resign in March 2017 by Trump. And nonetheless, Jeff Sessions, remember him? The guy that went to California and said, we're now implementing the human trafficking and enslavement hostage taking of those from Mexico. Trump told you Mexico would pay for the wall. And then he goes, oh no, Biden or Barack Obama was doing it the whole time. We're just continuing what he did. No. We found Trump's initial draft, which was put on the table his first day in office. So, yeah, that was all fraud. But Jeff Sessions had him put back in under the Federal Vacancies Reform Act. And then he was renominated by Trump in June 2017. And on August 3rd, 2017, he was unanimously confirmed by the full dominated Republican Senate to an additional 4-year term. And so thus it's up right now. Thus why Biden is saying anybody who was put in under Trump, I'm calling for your resignation. And February 8th, which was yesterday. Oh, so yeah, it wasn't breaking news. It was yesterday. This has been updated recently. So here it is on his Wikipedia page for John W. Huber. On February 8, 2021, he, along with 55 other Trump-era attorneys, were asked to resign. And they do have a little 7, which Washington Post. Okay. So it must have been late last night, because I didn't hear it on either Chris Matthews, Ari Melber, or Rachel Maddow's shows. And here he graduated with honors from the University of Utah in 1989. Received his Juris Doctor from the University of Utah College of Law in 1995. Huber began his career in Weber County, Utah Attorney's Office. Served as Chief Prosecutor to West... in 2002, so he didn't have any effect on me. Yeah, he joined the U.S. Attorney's Office, and in 2005 became an Assistant Utah Attorney General. So he was not involved in my 2008 situation by the church. He prosecuted the Trolley Square shooting in 2007. Utah Mormons all know about that one. And then appointed by Jeff Sessions to investigate the FBI's surveillance of Carter Page. And if you didn't know, he couldn't find anything wrong. Oops! Sorry, Trump. You lied. There's nothing there. Oops! And connections between the Clinton Foundation and Uranium One. Oops! Nothing. Sorry, Trump. I can't do it. There's nothing there. But Pizzagate. Uranium One. After Huber closed the investigation in 2020 without finding malfeasance, that's Wikipedia's wording of it. In June 2020, Trump tweeted that Huber had done absolutely nothing and was a garbage disposal unit for important documents. He's Mormon. Oh no, the Trump tweet! Oh no! He's gonna ruin my career! I'm gonna be known as a patriot and I need to be known as an insurrectionist because I love Trump. Please. So yeah, he was born in Salt Lake City, Utah in 67, 68. So he is a little older than I am. He went to the University of Utah. He was preceded by David B. Barlow. Isn't he? It is! And here we come to the link to me. Awesome. Oh man, breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Awesome. David Barlow is a federal court judge who was the, let's see, which number was he? First to recuse himself in my lawsuit against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, technically the corporation of the president of the blah blah blah. This was round 2, because in round 1, Waddups oversaw it, as Judge First was fired for allowing the evidentiary hearing in Gaddy versus COP. And as she's been fired, well, here comes my case. Oh, well, Waddups assigned her to my case. Oh, you're free. Everybody's asked you to recuse yourself from their court cases. I guess you have time. we'll give you to Travis. She was ordered to dismiss my case. She couldn't, because I dropped the bomb. The church paid to have me indefinitely incarcerated for 6 years of my life, and I've got the evidence, and then the church found out about it, because they have leaks all over the federal court, and then I caught them in the act of trying to cover up that evidence. But Waddups is in control, and he made sure the church was safe from all crime and prosecution. And so, round 2, you guys are committing acts of treason and sedition by supporting the church and protecting them from their criminal activities, using a viral weapon to attempt to murder the plaintiff, me. And so, yes, that's recently been dismissed as well. It took 4 justices after it was approved, which took 2 weeks to approve. Is it Barrett or Bartlett? I can't remember the magistrate judge in charge of screening it for processing. It took him 2 weeks. The first one, instantly. 2 weeks for this one. And during those 2 weeks, I'm hearing Attorney General Barr, remember him? Give a little speech thing at some meeting thing with other people, and gave advice to all in the audience who were attorney generals across the land to prosecute under insurrection, sedition, all of the protesters for the Black Lives Matter. And my first lawsuit was a RICO, which is a crime family thing, conspiracy. The second one was RICO, sedition. So here I just filed, and it's waiting for acceptance, and the U.S. Attorney General is saying, yeah, we can start prosecuting protesters for sedition. What? And so my case proceeds. No criminal prosecution. If you know the RICO lawsuit, it's supposed to be presented to the U.S. Attorney General. And he's supposed to make a decision on it. John W. Huber would be the Utah person in charge of the prosecution. He's Mormon. Barr apparently said, nope, not going to deal with it. I'm assuming that John W. Huber may have had something to say about that. Oh, this is a frivolous lawsuit. We're going to make sure that we have Travis assassinated and nothing will happen. The church is true. You want a Book of Mormon? Oh, dear God. And so, yes, Barlow. And then Jenkins. He took it. He was supposed to recuse. I called for his recusal. He instead said, nope, case dismissed, but without prejudice, which means I was allowed to file an amendment. Yay, thank you so much. So I added him to the amended complaint. He then recused himself. Kimball was next. And so I sent a letter. Hey, Kimball, remember me? You're the cause of all this. He recused himself immediately. And then we get to Campbell. And she, knowing my pattern, seeing what's going on, knowing she's the only not Mormon to choose from, immediately sanctioned me with censorship. Nothing was allowed to be filed. And she took 3 months just doing nothing as the coronavirus slaughtered. It's the reason why I don't have as many views. It's because people are dead. But again, she dismissed it in the end. I filed objections, and they refused to act on them, so I filed another objection. Campbell then said, all further filings are not to be filed, they're just supposed to be lodged. So it's closed permanently. And so you will not get to see that I filed a motion for her recusal, and she purposely is not allowing it to be made for the public. And so here we are. I then get attacked by Amazon. The first time when I lost, when Waddups said, case closed with prejudice, I was threatened to leave this place. They were going to evict me. That was the first death threat for losing the lawsuit. And so for the second one, oh, they went big time on this one. They got Amazon after me. Oh, dear God. So, yeah, I put in the second objection that did get filed, so it's in the public domain for all to read. I said, I've notified the FBI, and so we're going to find out if they are compromised. I also sent it to the President Biden. I gave them terrorist tips. And I only had limited space, but I went over the Book of Mormon with them, decoding it for them so that they would know the dates of the attack and the events that were to take place during that attack. Huber is gone. The Mormon is gone. We will see if somebody new is appointed who will have no problems or issues or conflicts of interest in prosecuting the church. Scripture time. Doctrine and Covenants, section 101, verse 43. And now I will show unto you a parable, that you may know my will concerning the redemption of Zion. A certain nobleman had a spot of land, very choice, and he said unto his servants, Go ye unto my vineyard, even upon this very choice piece of land, and plant 12 olive trees, and set watchmen round about them, and build a tower, that one may overlook the land round about, to be a watchman upon the tower, that mine olive trees may not be broken down when the enemy shall come to spoil and take upon themselves the fruit of my vineyard. Now the servants of the nobleman went and did as their lord commanded them, and planted the olive trees, and built a hedge round about, and set watchmen, and began to build a tower. And while they were yet laying the foundation thereof, they began to say among themselves, And what need hath my lord of this tower? And consulted for a long time, saying among themselves, What need hath my lord of this tower, seeing this is a time of peace? Might not this money be given to the exchangers? Joseph Smith had something to say about that in 1840 to the missionary 12 apostles. He called them a certain name, all of them in that particular talk. In 1839, he called the president, who had booted out the previous president, that certain name, who recommended that money be given to the exchangers in the certain gospel books. For there is no need of these things. And while they were at variance one with another, they became very slothful. And they didn't hear him? Hearken not unto the commandments of their Lord. 51. And the enemy came by night, broke down the hedge, and the servants of the nobleman arose, and were affrighted, and fled. And the enemy destroyed their works, and broke down the olive trees. Now behold, the nobleman, the lord of the vineyard, called upon his servants, and said unto them, Why? What is the cause of this great evil? So 55, we then found out that he selects somebody else to be a servant. One like Moses, if you understand the parable. Do you see what I see? Little lamb,